Hello, my name is Blaze Bayley. You are watching Get in the Pit TV.
How are you, man?
Good. Really happy to be back here in Finland, and this is the biggest show that I've played here with my own band. So very, very excited about coming to see the fans. And we've had some good support here, and we've got some really loyal fans here in Finland, so I'm very excited about the show.
There has been some lineup changes in your band since the last album. Who plays with you at the moment?
Well, it's been 5 years since the last studio album, and things we've had some difficulties. And I think one thing about metal is that you have to live for it, and if it's not your whole life, then perhaps it's not for you. So the guys that I have at the moment, it's taken 5 years to get everybody together and write the album and all of that, but this is the final lineup, I hope. And everybody lives and breathes heavy metal, and that's the reason that we're all here, because we love to play, and we feel very fortunate that we have fans and we can play our own original music and express ourselves through metal. So that's worked out well for us, and the lineup that we have now is, and this is all the lineup from the new album, is David Bermudez on bass, and he was from a band from Under Threat, and Nicholas Bermudez, who was also from Under Threat, he's from Colombia, from Bogota, Lawrence Patterson, who has been in a couple of different bands. His last band was called Chokehold, and he's originally from New Zealand, but now he lives in the UK. And Jay Walsh, who has had a couple of bands. His last band was called Four Way Kill, and he's my rhythm lead guitar player. So that's our lineup at the moment, and it's worked really, really well. And when it came to the writing for the album, it's a little bit heavier in places, a bit more direct than some of the things I've done in the past, but also it still contains the emotion and the passion and that kind of the expression that I like to have in the voice. So it seems to be working well, and this is our first tour that we're starting now. This is the very first part of the tour to go with the new album. The album's called The Man Who Would Not Die, and that comes out on July the 7th this year worldwide. And so this is the early stages of the tour, and we hope it goes well.
You decided to produce your new album yourself and release it through your own label. Why?
Well, a lot of times when you have a big record deal, and I've been on 5 different labels, some of them big, some of them small, whenever anybody puts any money in, there are always strings attached. So people feel they have the right to tell you what to do and how to play and make, and you're forced into compromises. So what I didn't want to do was be forced to make those compromises musically, but also financially. If someone is putting out your record, the record company takes so much of the money from that CD that it's nothing to do with the artist and the fans. And for me, metal is about the fans and the band. And so if you don't have a record label, then that's a lot less people between you and the fans. And so that's why I decided to do it. I thought, well, it may be a bit more difficult early on, but at least when the fans come and buy the CDs and the T-shirts, they know they're supporting the band, and they know that we're going to spend that money on coming to see them again and putting on a better show. Whereas if the fans go and buy the albums and they're on a different label, first of all, and like 5 people have got to get paid, the shop's got to get paid, and loads of people at the record company, and you're not the priority on that label. however small it is, just being my own label with my own band on it, at least I'm the #1 band on that label, and that counts for a lot. When you're with EMI or something, there's hundreds of bands, or when you're with SPV, they've got 100 heavy metal bands, and you've got a couple of weeks, they send out your stuff to the magazines, and then it's over, you're on your own. So at least doing it myself then, bringing out the record, organising the tour, and doing all of that is part of one thing. So there's more chance to get and meet the fans and play for the fans where we want to go than there was before.
How would you describe your solo stuff compared to some of your previous work?
I'd say, in relation to my Wolfsbane days, then it's probably a lot more serious than my Wolfsbane days, because I was a kid then, and we sang mostly about sex, women, having sex with women, and drinking a lot, getting drunk and having sex. So that's a lot of it, and we were always out for a good time and just to have fun, and that was the nature of the band. So as I've grown as an artist and I've developed as a singer, then I've become a bit more serious about things. And when I was with Iron Maiden, then I learned a lot about my own voice and about the business, and also about how to write a song and how to take the idea from your head and get it onto the CD. So that's changed really. So that experience from Iron Maiden and learning all of that is what I've put into my own work. And I think really, I'm proud of all of the albums that I've done, and I'm really excited about the new album coming out.
Are you still in touch with the Iron Maiden guys?
Yeah, whenever they play, whenever I'm at home and they play in Birmingham at the NEC, then I go and see them. And this year we're going down to see them at Twickenham, and hopefully in Paris as well. So we're still friends, and yeah, we still see each other. They're really busy, a lot busier than me at the moment, but yeah, we're still in touch.
Have you ever met Bruce Dickinson?
Yeah, I met Bruce Dickinson years and years ago, well before I was in Iron Maiden. I was in New York, and he happened to be there doing some promotion, and he came to the club where we were playing, and we had a couple of beers, and that was years and years ago. And a couple of months ago, he invited me to be on his radio show, and so it was really fun, because it was probably the only two people who know what it's like to be the ex-singer of Iron Maiden.